Welcome back to the show, everybody. We got a good one lined up for you today. Delegate your songbird. We're going to let you know about that. It is happening. Time Magazine, Galaxy Digital, Binance US may be going public next month. Whoa! Wait, I didn't get that email. EU bubble burst. We'll tell you about it. Hillary Clinton chimes in on crypto, and it is not flattering. I can say that much. Bank of Australia CEO warns the biggest risk about crypto. Senator Cruz continues to fight for crypto in his state. The Fed seeks comments on ISO 20022. It's heating up, ladies and gentlemen. Listen to this. Finally, there's a federal governor who recognizes the need for a digital dollar. We'll tell you about it. How about this? Volante Technology Ripple Partner is added again, and it's the Fed and BNYMellon. We'll go over it. Ripple Partner in the USD coin. It's happening, ladies and gentlemen, even though it doesn't feel like it. I'm telling you. Xpunks NFTs blast off the XRP ledger. You won't believe the numbers. And technical analyst of XRP right now, and a comparison from 2017 to 21 on Bitcoin chart. It's going to blow your mind. Somebody roll that beautiful intro.
This is Digital Perspectives with Brad Kimes. Subscribe for new content notifications. Now, here's Brad Kimes. Come on in.
Welcome back to the show, everybody. You can follow me on Twitter at BackupBradleyAbove and everything that we're talking about here today. It's $2.521 trillion market cap for crypto. It's November 19, 2021. Let's go ahead and take a look. It's down 2.27%. The market's been bleeding heavy all week long. Right now, Bitcoin at 57,000 plus, Ethereum at 4,100 plus. Solana is at $202, a little up from yesterday, and Cardano at 182 right now. And we see XRP at $1.05. Let's look at the range. We got a lot of news to go over, and it gets bigger as we go through it. Right now, we see we've ranged from 102.89 on the low side to 110.05 on the high side, sitting at 106 right now. Now, let's take a look at this, because this is from James Rule XRP. He says, in a few hours, this is from Uphold actually as well, you will be able to move your songbird and delegate to the FTSO via your Bitfrost wallet. So get some of that. It is taking place. It's starting to happen. Earn some returns. Get some earning. Get some yields. All of that. I mean, look, it's going to come, right? It's been a really, really bumpy road, but it's going to come. And I tend to think also we need the regulation, the clarity for DeFi, because we see the SEC really pushing down. Yesterday we covered BlockFi, as you know, has been targeted of recent because they're offering such amazing rewards to their customers. And that is really a real threat to the banks. I think we're going to get more of that narrative before this video's over. Right now, we see Time Magazine announced that its first of its kind partnership with Galaxy Digital Holdings, Time and Galaxy Digital partner to demystify the next immersive digital frontier, the metaverse, through first of its kind partnership. Now, that's going to get exciting, because if you think, virtual reality just brought to the social media platforms, imagine it being brought to like magazine formats online, right? I mean, that's going to be an incredible experience. We're headed to a new world. There's no turning back. Now, listen to this. This is CZ Binance talking about Binance US may raise a couple hundred million for an IPO within the next month or so. Take a listen.
Ago that the U.S. business had plans to raise some money in a financing round and eventually go public. Is that still the case?
Yes, I think that will come out in about a month or two. That will close in about a month.
And why are you raising money? I mean, we just established that you're immensely profitable and.
Yeah, so we do want to diversify the cap table a little bit, and then having Binance US has a route to go IPO in the US. Now there's a playbook. Coinbase did it. So it's very simple. Like, let's do everything that Coinbase did, compliance-wise, etc., and do it hopefully cheaper, and then put it at a lower cost, and hopefully attract users and IPO that. And from an IPO perspective, it's better to have a few rounds of financing before that.
How much money do you want to raise in this pre-IPO financing round?
I think for this one, it's a couple $100 million. I actually don't know exactly the number. Yeah.
What about Binance, the parent company? Do you see that going public ever?
So right now, it's not clear. We're not ruling anything out, but.
Listen to what he says about the future here and about how it could integrate with security exchanges. Listen to this.
Binance.com is a much larger entity, and we also need to look at regulations in different parts of the world to see where to IPO. And to be honest, in 5-10 years, we may see a merge between cryptocurrency exchanges and security exchanges. The cryptocurrency exchange may be able to support tokenized securities or security tokens. In those cases, it may be possible to just list on a cryptocurrency exchange.
And there you have it. And that is massive news. So we're looking at the idea that Binance US could IPO in the next month or so. They want to raise a couple $100 million before doing so. And then you look at the idea that in another 5 or 10 years, you could have an integration of these cryptocurrency exchanges with the conventional stock markets, like the New York Stock Exchange and NASDAQ, as he cited. Now, very quickly, we've talked about that. And I think that this is a lot of what you're seeing out of Gary Gensler. Right? Is, we talked about this. If they can wrangle the crypto exchanges into having to register and have a securities license with the SEC, then they can put them all in a little short line to get that license. And then you start seeing the bigger investment companies out here and the bigger financial institutions say, you know what, I'll buy the Binance US. I'll buy this company. I'll buy that exchange. I'll buy that exchange, right? Because then they get to buy that model and bring it into their structure without having to build it from scratch. And I think that is going to be a huge acquisition merger moment for the maturity of this space. It's coming. It is coming. It's also why I tell you about private equity with Link2.com, ladies and gentlemen. It's where you can get these things before they IPO. This is why I tell you this. Yes, you have to be accredited, but you know what? If you sign up, even if you're not accredited at this point, you get access to all the data points that are now combined from CB Insights. Very, very expensive membership to have that on your own. $60,000 to $300,000 a year membership, and they're giving you that information for free. Even if you're not accredited, you sign up and belong as a member, you'll have access to that data, and you can prepare yourself for the future and where you want to put your money. Make sure you check them out, link2.com. Looking right here, the bubble burst, EU property market in free fall as ECB warns of a financial meltdown. Uh-oh. So we got Evergrande, right? And that failing Lehman Brothers moment unfolding, right, in China. Now we got the admission here from ECB saying, financial meltdown and free fall, EU property markets, not good. This ends up being a domino effect because none of these regions of the world are siloed entities, right? And that's the problem. And at some point, it's going to make its way right on around here to the good old US of A. And here's what, lobby money can do when it's put in the right pocket. Hillary Clinton says here, even though she's not in the political realm at the moment, crypto could undermine the dollar as a world reserve currency. This is a push right here to hang a bad label on top of crypto. But I tell you this, CEO of Commonwealth Bank of Australia warns the biggest risk to banks are missing crypto at all, right? Is you better get into crypto. And I think that's what we're seeing. So take what we're seeing here, right? We're seeing the fear being delivered here to push a narrative, right? For the positioning to happen to where, the biggest risk, according to the CEO of Commonwealth Bank of Australia, is missing out on crypto at all. Now, you just for a second take that in, right? And take that into what CZ Binance just told us. In the next 5 to 10 years, you could see a merger or acquisitions of these crypto exchanges with the actual conventional markets that are out here now and securities being offered and it all being blended, tokenized, mixed together. This is where the world is going. And it also screams the need for a digital dollar. We're going to get to that in a second. Right now, this is Ted Cruz, who's talking about the importance, and he knows how much Texas is involved in becoming a real leader in the blockchain crypto space. So he's fighting for that in Congress and the Senate. And I want you to hear this last part here where he delivers a real truth about the uneducated congressmen and women in the Senate and in the House of Representatives that are looking at these bills and don't know what they're actually looking at all. Listen.
And the sad reality of Congress legislating in this matter, I can speak at least for the Senate. I doubt there are 5 members of the United States Senate that could tell you what the hell a Bitcoin is. And legislating is always a messy process, but when it comes to legislating in an area where most members of this body have very little familiarity with the details, it is highly perilous. I have to say,
look, I'm not the biggest fan of congressmen and politics, but when it starts to cross my portfolio, my pursuits in life, I got to get involved. And that's a moment that's happening now with crypto and my investments. I've run into this before in other areas of my life, and that's when I participate in politics, and I don't care who can get the job done for me as long as they can. And I think we're going to have to take a bigger step forward in that direction collectively between all of us to really make sure that we get done what we need to get done. And this is about, this is about having an opportunity to invest in this new emerging asset class for the rest of our lives, for the rest of our families' lives. We can't let uneducated people with the power to destroy that opportunity really, have control to do so. We have to educate them and get this done, or they got to be voted out and get the right people in. We'll talk more about it as the weeks go on. But right here is a sign that things are moving on in the payments world. It's the Federal Reserve Board seeking comment regarding revised ISO 20022 migration plan for the Fed wire fund services. And, you can tell your thoughts. It extends till January 4th, 2022, just around the corner. Here's even more optimistic news. We covered yesterday 3 federal governors, one of which will be resigning next month. See ya. Don't let the door hit you where the good Lord splits you, right? And this is Federal Governor Lael Brainerd, who can't imagine a future without a digital dollar. And thank God she's there. And hopefully at some point, maybe she even takes over the role of Jerome Powell and leads the Fed to where we need to go in this new 4th industrial revolution. She points out a number of reasons why digital version of the U.S. dollar should be created. The Federal Reserve Governor Lael Brainerd insisted that not having one wouldn't lead to a sustainable future. The central bank official believes a digital dollar will have both international and domestic applications. She goes on to say the dollar is very dominant in international payments, and if you have the other major jurisdictions in the world with a digital currency, a CBDC offering, and the U.S. doesn't have one, I just can't wrap my head around that. And that really is what goes on. And in a world of stable coins, you can imagine that households and businesses, if the migration away from currency is really very intense, they would simply lose access to a safe government-backed settlement asset, which is, of course, what currency always has always provided, right? So there is the comments, and, thank goodness she's there, and hopefully, they get on the ball with this. I do believe in the back channels behind the scenes that they are further along with what they will do. I do believe and have offered my speculation that the USD coin becomes the private-public relationship for a retail front-facing U.S. digital dollar that's held to a heightened prudential of standards and provisions that will certainly serve in a beneficial need, and it's really already happening. I'm going to show you some more evidence of that in just a couple minutes. And for a CBDC, look, they could develop a digital dollar for the Federal Reserve in the back end wholesale market, or hell, at that point, why not just use Deem XRP that and use it wholesale back end? Who knows? We'll see. But the opportunities are there, and we see that they're not unfamiliar with Ripple and their partners. Federal Reserve Payments Pilot incorporates Ripple PartnerVolante technologies. This is from back in February, but I wanted to show you this because there's even more good news to show you. Ripple PartnerVolante Technologies becomes the latest fintech company to join the Federal Reserve's new instant payments pilot scheme. Don't forget that. Leave that one on the table. And then take a look at this. This is from James Rule XRP here. And I wanted to show you this report here that is a VolanteTechnology.com report. And I want to bring you to page 9, and I wanted to show you this because BNYMellon decided to engage with technology partners to help with its challenges. The bank's considerations in selecting a vendor, including a partner, would co-develop technology. It goes through, and BNYMellon chose Volante technology using Volpay platform. We know BNYMellon is a Ripple partner. We know that Volte Technologies is a Ripple partner. We're seeing it all come together. They're also working with the Fed as well. And what else have we seen expansion of? We see Ripple partner Bitso and USD Coin Circle partner to launch cross-border payments tool between Mexico and the US. Come on in. Yeah, it keeps happening, doesn't it? And by the way, so does USD Coin, continually moving on to new payment protocol networks and integration that way and new corridors. And it's exactly what we're seeing here. I tell you, it gets more and more obvious to me that the USD Coin is making a play to have that public-private relationship for a retail front-facing digital dollar position. And I think they will get it. Looking right here, Xpunk's blast off on the XRP ledger. Now, this is a big deal because Ripple, Brad Garlinghouse, CEO, has said it. He's made plenty of mentions of this, that you are going to see NFTs be a real thing. David Schwartz has talked about it on the XRP ledger. That functionality is there, and it's there in a big way. Look what Xpunks have done, right? It went from a tweet to $100 million market cap within 4 weeks. That's the power of the XRP ledger and NFTs. And I tell you what, we'll put those conversion fees up against the ETH network any day of the week. You let me know. We'll go. Now let's take a look here because here's some price action news. We need to learn the resistance and support lines for where we are right now, right? And he's been saying this for a while, but he's reminding us again, resistances are at 118 and 133. Supports are at 101 and 96 cents. I know it's boring, but please be aware of the importance of patience. It's one of the biggest lessons I've learned in being an investor, right? Not a trader, but an investor. Let's take a look at this, because this is just a remarkable side-by-side here. This is from Al T right here. And this is 2017 Bitcoin looking at 2021. Take a look at the similarities here in these positions, right? Just take a look at this, right? This here you see broke 50 SMA and 1.272 mid-July. This here broke 50 SMA, 1.272 mid-July. Here we see broke 50 SMA end of September, broke further below 50 SMA end of September. These things look very, very similar. It doesn't look, this is all theory-based. None of this is financial advice, but pretty remarkable lineup. Look at this similarity here to here. And then look at this, bounce mid-November and started its trek up. We know Bitcoin leads the pack. And we could be looking here. It has not bounced yet, and we're in mid-November. So we'll see where this goes and what happens here. But that moment could be right in this area here any day. We know Bitcoin leads the market, so whatever's going to happen, we're going to have to wait for Bitcoin to do it unless we see some other fundamental event that happens that begins to shake the market loose. But whatever it is, I'm excited and I'm here for it, whether we go up or down. Not financial advice from me or anyone else. I do want to tell you, I trust capital, ladies and gentlemen. The only thing better than buying cryptocurrency is buying tax-free cryptocurrency in a crypto IRA. They drop their monthly fees. And if you sign up and fund an account, you will get $100 worth of Bitcoin for doing so. I'm telling you, that's a hell of an offer. Don't forget about Ledger Nano, cold storage, ladies and gentlemen. And by the way, speaking of ETH and the terrible, terrible gas fees, Unstoppable Domains has figured it out. And you can now mint your .cryptos on Polygon and not deal with the gas fees. So make sure you check that out as well. I'll catch all of you on the next one.